Now, we know that Aborigines were the first Australians, but could they have been the first Americans as well? Cosmos magazine says the oldest human remains found in South America could rewrite the history books. For more, it's over to Editor-in-Chief Wilson De Silva. Good morning to you.
Hello, Nat.
Tell us what exactly has been found.
Well, it's a startling discovery of hundreds of skeletons in South America and Central America that have all of the cranial characteristics not of the Native Americans, who are very Asian-looking, but actually Australian Aborigines. In fact, the oldest one is 11,000 years old and was found in Brazil.
And why would these never have been found before?
Well, actually, it's a really intriguing story. It was found in 1975 by a French-Brazilian team, but then there was a dispute. One of the people who was leading it died, and the whole thing sat in without anyone looking at it for a long time, until the late 1990s, when a Brazilian researcher and some Americans started going through it, and to their shock and surprise, they were expecting to find, ancient Native Americans that looked like Asians, but actually they looked like Australian Aborigines, and that threw everything out of the water.
Wow, it's interesting, isn't it? Now, how may they have reached the Americas?
Well, they actually did a reconstruction of the face, and you can actually see in the reconstruction that it's very Aboriginal looking. But it's suspected originally. This is the reconstruction you can see here. On the left is the reconstruction. On the right is the skull Lucia, which is the oldest, 11,000 years old. Now, if you look at the map, there's a map that...
yeah, we'll bring the map up now.
So if you can see, the red arrows show where humans, the fossil record shows that humans appeared in Africa about 120,000 years ago, the first fossils. And then we know that they reached Australia about 50,000 years ago. So Aborigines were amongst the first humans ever to travel that far and that long ago. It was originally thought that they went over the top, that they didn't go over the top, Asians didn't go over the top until about 9,000, 10,000 years ago. But now it looks like the people who became Australian Aborigines kept going. They didn't just go down to Australia. There's a bunch of them that kept going, went all the way over the top and down there, and then reached South America, which is where we found the fossils. Now, the remarkable thing is that it looks like humans were spread out all over the world as soon as they could.
Yeah.
Now to a feature of Aboriginal life in Australia, which has been going strong for 60 years. Coming out balls for debutantes. 12 teenage girls took part in the ceremony in what's being seen as a symbolic first step into adulthood. The organisers say it gives these girls an experience they wouldn't have had in their own communities. Our correspondent in Australia, Duncan Kennedy, reports.
It's a special day at this school near Melbourne. The final practice of their dance steps for a night to remember. This is Warrowa College, where young Aboriginal women are about to come out as debutantes.
The families want to ensure that their girls are getting exposure to other experiences that they would not otherwise have in their own community setting.
The teenagers are marking 60 years of Aboriginal debutantes.
And you put your foot to the back.
Yeah.
Just like any other Debs, the makeup, the hair, the detail means everything, especially for young women who've been exposed to dysfunctional lives in their communities.
Not attending schools and running away from home and getting into bad situations.
My mum's really proud of me because before I came here I missed out on heaps of school.
The first Aboriginal debutantes came out in the 1940s, shocking many in what was then a more racist society. This was how they lived, in huts and in poverty. Deb's dances as rare as shoes and sanitation. Many of the girls' families can't afford the dresses, so local Melbourne people help out for free. The event builds confidence for the girls, but also for others previously alien to them. This is integration with a skip in its step.
Layla has undertaken AFL umpire training and she hopes to become an interpreter with the police force.
It's a room full of pride.
Warrowa has given her the opportunity to look forward to what she wants to do in the future, and that was one of the main things and opportunities that I wanted her to have.
Aboriginal people make up 2% of Australia's population and have many social problems. But the hope here is that these young women will step forward and take their place as leaders. A generation not always mainstream, but no longer marginal either. Duncan Kennedy, BBC News in Sydney.
As mulheres negras baianas que chegam aqui na Praça 11 com tia Seata vão ser vistas como mulheres livres, mulheres atrevidas, abusadas. Elas fazem realmente uma revolução no Rio de Janeiro.
A mulher é a formadora de opinião desde de outros tempos, né? Antigamente, no terreiro, quando eles apresentavam o samba, se as pastoras não cantassem os sambas não aconteciam, entendeu?
Eles, quando faziam o samba, primeiro eles traziam a minha apreciação para saber se eu gostava. O que há? Nós somos mulheres e cada uma tem que ver a sua vida. E eu que sempre gostei de me sobressair. Eu me sinto refeita. É a minha alegria.
Eu sou a primeira rainha de bateria do Brasil. Eu saí com quase nada, que para eles era um escândalo na época, né? No ano seguinte, todas as escolas puseram suas rainhas, cada uma mais linda que a outra, competindo. E hoje vocês veem o que acontece com esse negócio. A importância da mulher de samba não é sair mostrando corpo bonito. Eu também já fiz isso. Mas tem que mostrar, em primeiro lugar, a importância da mulher no samba é ter samba no pé, ter samba mesmo. Não é só mostrar a plástica.
A mulher em seu próprio corpo, a possibilidade da continuidade histórica e da liberdade de ser, de uma identidade de princípio feminino, de ser mulher e de ser capaz de transformar o seu próprio destino.
A gente teve que batalhar um tanto, porque primeiro mulher fazendo carnaval já é meio esquisito naquela época e tal. Não era uma ausência total de confiança, senão eu nem estaria fazendo o carnaval.
A importância da mulher, ela é enorme, só que ela está um pouco atrás dos panos, entendeu? As pessoas não estão vendo. E a gente que sabe o que a gente passa, sabe? A gente que sabe o tamanho da nossa cruz, da nossa luta, assim, sabe? O samba, pra mim, é a minha vida, assim, é a minha vida, é quem eu sou, é onde eu me mostro, é onde eu me reconheço. E o samba é meu dom. Sou eu.